Welcome to another edition of Community Conversations. Today, I have as my guest Roger Wilson, who is working as our Government Affairs and Public Policy Director out of the County Executive Office. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, glad to be with you. Yeah.
So why don't we start off by having you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself,
Sure.
what you've done, in terms of work experience, and also things you've been involved in the community.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Exec. It's great to be here, and my experience is within the industry for about 20 years. I worked at IBM for about 15 years, and before that, Computer Science Corporation. And a lot of IT, policy making, supply chain management. So it really required me to travel a lot and be on the road. Every week I was on a plane going somewhere in Timbuktu, USA, or Timbuktu, around the country and around the world. And it was great experience, but I knew after 20 years of traveling and being away from family, I knew it was something that I wanted to do differently. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
So, and you're also a trustee for Frederick Community College.
Yes.
So how long have you been in that role?
Yes, for about a couple of years now as a trustee out at FCC. And it's great. I get the opportunity to kind of work on policy around community colleges. I really think that the community college in the United States is the economic engine for our economic development here in this country and also here in the county. And, working with my colleagues, great opportunities, working with the students and understanding what their needs are. Student loans are at a record level right now, and that's something that I really care about. And I have 3 daughters that are 14, 11, and 10. The 14-year-old, she's thinking about college, but something that we're trying to kind of push her to thinking about what is her career going to be. And so it's still kind of tough just to pick up around the house, but I'm sure she'll get there. Yeah.
Well, she will. She's a little young. She doesn't really have to decide now.
Yeah, sure.
I think our young people will probably do a variety of jobs over their career, just like you have.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you talk a little bit about what you're doing for the county executive
Sure.
right now in your new role? So why don't we start off with talking about your working relationship with our municipalities?
Absolutely. As you said, I am the new Government Affairs and Policy Director here for the county. And that job it's more than just the executive liaison to the 12 municipalities. It requires me to go down and work with our delegation down in Annapolis, also working with our delegation in the federal area. And it's very rewarding. It gives me an opportunity to work both vertically and horizontally. Going out to the 12 municipalities, I get to basically do issue management, something that I did a lot of at IBM, and just understanding what their needs are. We have a lot of activity that's going on in Thurmont and North County up in Emmitsburg. They're doing some interesting things. I know in Emmitsburg they're looking at ways to kind of make downtown more open to younger people. They're putting in bike routes and paths and signage, and that's very innovative. And also in Thurmont, as you know, they just opened up their new town center there.
Town offices.
Yeah. And so they're doing some great things with the seniors. So we think that these are innovative things. Also up in Brunswick, they're talking about pay as you throw. That issue is very, I would say, hot and exciting. It's controversial, but we're also seeing a lot of engagement from our constituents, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Well, one of the things we've worked on with our biggest municipal partner, the City of Frederick, and with our state delegation, with some other people, community partners like the Chamber of Commerce, is advocating for the Hotel Conference Center. Sure. And so, we've been out meeting with some of the key state lawmakers who could potentially have input into that, as well as, talking with business leaders. I had a meeting last week with our new Secretary of Budget, who's former Senator David Brinkley from our district. So you want to talk a little bit about
Sure.
that process?
Sure, sure. That, for example, the hotel, that's one of our biggest initiatives here in the county, and we're looking to bring a hotel downtown. It'll be a hotel and conference center. There's a lot of stakeholders that are involved in this process. Our business community, also our leaders, and also our nonprofits, all are interested in bringing a center or a conference center like this. I know, for example, my nonprofit, my fraternity, is always looking for a place to, host their events. And this is going to be a very nice venue to host our events and invite our guests, rather than going down to our neighboring counties like Montgomery County or Howard County. It keeps the money here, okay, downtown. And we definitely look forward to that. It's been a long time coming. Yeah.
Well, and of course, we're looking for our state funding partner not to run the hotel. The Hotel Conference Center will be a private entity, but really we're looking for support for the public infrastructure, the road improvements, and specifically a parking deck. And the county and the city have partnered on those for many decades, with the city being the lead agency. But that's been an interesting project. We've also gone down to meet with our delegation. We do have a proposal by Delegate Carol Krim for tax equity, for requiring a new comprehensive study of service duplications between the county and the municipalities. And, we've had a lot of give and take on that conversation. And this, once a month, I host a meeting with all the mayors. And so that'll be a topic of conversation with them as well.
Right.
So, I appreciate your help on, communicating on issues like that, and really working out a compromise that moves all of us forward to make sure that we have fairness for everybody, both in our municipalities and those who live in our county.
Yeah, one of the things, Madam Exec, that I really enjoy the opportunity to bring those 12 municipalities together and talk on a monthly basis. I think collaboration and communication is vital in order for us to speak as one in one county, show one county down in Annapolis. Also working with our delegation. Our delegation right now, we have a lot of new delegates and senators now, and it's very important that they understand what the details are. And I think, Madam Executive, you have done a wonderful job of going down to Annapolis and making sure that we're all one team, and that Frederick County is a focus and #1 on the job. Yep.
Well, we've benefited over the years from being on the same page with our transportation priorities and being on the same page with a number of our legislative priorities. Certainly, we all support funding for school construction, and a lot of advocacy right now to minimize the state budget cuts to the counties, particularly in the areas of education, to our K-12 public schools, as well as to the community college, which I know you're aware of those as well. Now, you're also a member of the transition team, and you're chairing the jobs leadership team. And I know there's been a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of ideas on the jobs leadership team. Can you, give us some ideas of what some of the topics are that are being talked about in that group?
Sure. Jobs is definitely a high priority for the county executive's office. And one of the things that we've done over the last, I would say, couple of months is meet as a group. It's about a 15-member team, task force. And we're going through a process. The first couple of meetings were focused on just brainstorming, coming up with ideas. One of the sessions we had was bringing public input in to make sure that we got a variety of ideas that we could kind of put our arms around and bring forward. Now, the next step is for us to kind of identify those ideas, put them in a format, and make recommendations to you in the coming weeks. Also, we've also sent out a survey from our Chamber of Commerce to receive input from our small business owners. Yeah.
Well, then I read through the suggestions that came through the survey, and there were some good ideas there. So can you give us, our viewers, a bit of a, maybe a short list of some of the top ideas that are coming out of the jobs leadership team?
Sure, sure. One is around um, identifying a group of advisors that will be directly giving you input on I would say, a monthly basis. So these advisors would come from different industries that we have here in Frederick County: biotech, we also hotel, retail, manufacturing, also housing, construction. So these individuals will come together and making sure that they are providing regular input to you. The other thing
So
is
it's a business development
it's a business
advisory
development
committee.
advisory group. Yep.
Has there been conversation about that in terms of a committee versus an authority?
Authority, yes. There's been a lot of debate within the team whether or not one has,
Better than the other?
better than the other. I would say just wait. I'm sure you're on the
Okay.
edge of your seats. Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
What about support for the incubator and for some other business initiatives?
One of the ideas as far as the FTG incubator that we have established now, one of the ideas was relocating that organization more so downtown where we could get access to other resources.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're not going to spill the beans. So anything else you'd like to add about your goals and priorities in this new position?
Yes. One of my goals is to make sure that the 12 municipalities are getting what they need. It's often an issue with having the voice of their leaders in the county. We're also looking at ways where we can collaborate on issues. I know in the IT area there's opportunities with records and retention management, also broadband, looking at ways, and also data centers and collaborating there. So there are a number of opportunities there. Also working with our delegation down in the Capitol, and making sure that we're getting
Our
the
federal
ear.
delegation.
Yeah, getting the ear down there. We so need help on transportation funds and infrastructure funds. So looking forward to working with those folks. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today. If any of our viewers wanted to contact you to give you any suggestions or ideas, how could they do that?
Sure. You can contact me. I'm sure that my email address and my phone number is at the bottom of the screen. But looking forward to hearing from all your input and issues. And on Fridays, I leave room for coffees and talks with constituents. So looking forward to that. And if I may put a plug in for my new show, All Around Town, that will be kicking off in the week or so, in the next week or so, where we will be interviewing our leaders from our 12 municipalities.
Okay,
So.
Great. So I look forward to seeing your interviews with the mayors and maybe even some of the council people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here today. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Community Conversations. I hope you learned a little bit about what's happening in government affairs and public policy and our relationship building with our municipalities. Thank you for joining us.